All right, so how was that meditation? Anything come up for anybody that they want to share, or the one we did right before the break?
Really appreciated church bells, open awareness.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Made it, I don't want to say easy, but it made
Yeah,
it easier to focus and open awareness.
yeah, great, great. And you can play ratios, and I do this sometimes just for fun. So I try to do 20% attention on the sound of the refrigerator, and then like 80% awareness of everything else that's happening. Or I do 20% attention on the breath, 80% awareness, and then I switch the ratio. I do 80% attention and try to have 20% awareness. And just playing with the ratio of attention awareness, it's just a great exercise to start making us a little more flexible in that way. But yeah, the church bells, I was like, what perfect timing, you know? It was like, and it's not like you're normally, I mean, I forget what piece that is, but they're like full on going, and I was like, oh my God, we're going to go into like the Bach concertos next, you know? But it's just like, yeah, it's beautiful to do that.
I just wonder, the neurologists say we can only really focus on one.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it possible simultaneously to do 50% awareness, 50% attention, or is it more like we going back and forth?
Yeah, according to the yogis and according to neurology, you're actually toggling.
Yeah.
But the toggling is so fast that it appears, so the whole idea of multitasking is not real, you know?
Right.
What we're doing is we're toggling attention. But we're doing it in this way, it's not multitasking because we're doing it in a relaxed way and we're trying to build that muscle of mindfulness. But it is a type of toggling. But it's happening so fast that it appears like we're aware and focused at the same time. Yeah.
And where does the mantra of the sacred word fit in?
So mantra would just be an example of an object of meditation. And that's all. And again, so when we're talking about objects of meditation, I'm mostly talking about the breath. But for example, I've done a Catholic practice called the Spiritual Exercises of St. Francis. And I did it very traditionally. It takes about 40 days and you're meditating hours a day. But what the object of meditation is in that exercise is different periods of Christ's life. So the object is actually a scene. Like filming a scene, the scene is like scene of Jesus and Mary and Joseph in the stable. That's the object. So an object can be a scene. It can be a mantra. It can be many things. Now, how is a scene an object? Is because I'm trying to keep my mind in that perimeter, and then when my mind goes from that to something else, I've now lost the object. You see what I mean? And I'm bringing it back. So all these variations of different types of meditation, they're mostly just different types of objects. That's what I said. A lot of what we've been talking about can be transferred to any different type of meditation. I don't teach a type of meditation because I've realized we're all so different. So when I work with people, I figure, okay, what might work best for this person? Yeah. Yeah.
How does one defining?
It's super important to define the object. You said, how do you avoid defining it?
Right, that's my question, whether I should be avoiding.
Yeah. So in order to do, and again, I'm going to talk about it in a more linear way for a second, which is paradoxical in a way. But what I'm talking about here is training the mind, training the heart and the mind, and certain cognitive and emotional skills. In order to train, you have to have a very clearly defined object. In other words, if I sit down to the piano and I'm like, I'll just do whatever I feel like, I'm not going to progress, right? If I don't have a clear, what am I working on today? What I'm working on today is the C scale and transposing that to different parts of the keyboard.